Okay, this is a video for the Hibiscus. This is a single dynamic driver. This is the DLC, the diamond-like coating that is on the Canas Pro, I believe the KXXS. One of those might be carbon CNT. I'm actually not sure. I think it's the Canas that has the same one as this, among others. You can see the graph over here. The bass is relatively tame for a dynamic driver. It's got mids, which is nice. The elevation to the treble is at the typical location, which is 1 kilohertz. It's a little bit up, then it plateaus, and it's got not quite a chop top Harmon. It's a little bit up there. This is kind of like the Shure tuning, actually. But so this sounds good, and I like it, and I think that that graph shows that some things, and let's take a look, will maybe. This is AC/DC, Girls Got Rhythm. The vocals on this sound fine, but the feeling that they're a little bit, if you're vocal, you like vocals a lot, the presentation of the vocals isn't odd. It sounds slightly emphasized. As something that is elevated like that much, 10, 11, 12, that much of a ski slope is going to do. The treble otherwise is not really a problem. There's quite a drop right here. This would be, that would be 4K right there. The highest peak, that would be 2. Not the ideal frequency response plot that I'd be looking for, but it actually sounds pretty good. This is the driver tech that is inside this is tested and tried and confirmed to be. Let me unplug this from the mic. I just did that final check. Before I continue, let me note that this cable is outstanding. I think that this set is somewhere in the $60 range. This is really a nice cable. This is genuinely really cool. Like, I'm going to take it off of this set, and I'm going to keep it. Sorry, but that'll, if you're wondering, do I wreck this set? No. There's simply too much stuff that is competing with it. Among those is another set that I've got that's right here, that is graph this one. Now that looks a little like, where's my mids? They sound really, really, really dope. These have the very strong magnetic. They call it Tesla. I know what Tesla is, but they're using it in kind of the audio speak kind of way, like hyping it a little more than they should. However, the detail retrieval on these is exceptional. Really, really nice, but that's for another video. I don't even know the name of these. This, would I wreck this set? Instead of what? You can ask in the comment section if you want. Just generally speaking, right off the top, no. Something like this sounds really good. This has got good resolution, but it's not on par with something like that and set that I don't know what the name is, or something like the tape. It doesn't compete on that level, and it's notable. It's notable between this and this. Sometimes DAPs and earphones come in at unfortunate times for one or the other. Like the DX200 came in at the same time that the FAAEAL X53 did, and the X53 was such a champ when it came to the way that navigation was. And I actually kind of like the warmish, velvet architecture sound or whatever that is with the AK chips. I was cool with that. And the other one sounded like an iPod. And you go back now and you look, and nobody uses the original amp with that set, that DAP. And those two came together. And other times earphones come together, and that's unfortunate for one or the other. This came around the same time as that. I think that this wouldn't be wrecked anyway. But I'm listening to this around the same time, and then like, fuck, I think I'll compare them. They're both, dynamic drivers. Yeah, no, can't. Cable is dope, though. Cable's really, really nice. Something like Tupac, Ambitionz as a rider sounds good. The bass sounds, I can elevate it via EQ, which I typically do at 55 hertz, 3, 5, 6, up to 9 if I can, just to see what it sounds like, how much it destroys the rest of the frequency response. These will up, about 3 or 4 at 55 hertz and be respectable. They sound good, like the other types that use the same type of drivers. You can up the bass. The Canas Pro is not a set. I believe the Canas has got one like this, or the Kit, one of the two. Both of those sets are not bass head sets. They can be upped, but to a certain point. You know what I mean? This would fall along that. And whereas this over here, actually, that'll be for another day. This is Badfinger. This is a track that you might know if you watched Breaking Bad. It was the final episode, the very end. I won't even give away a spoiler, but the name of what he was making was, I think, something, it was Blue. And the name of this track is Baby Blue. 2 of the members of this group committed suicide. There's a video on YouTube now that's kind of like the tragedy of Badfinger, and they got screwed over by the management a lot. Something like this, which is really a vocal, jun 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 dun jun 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 dun dun jun jun bum 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 dun 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 dun. I won't start singing for you guys. I'll show mercy on your soul. It's Christmas, for God's sakes. Vocals sound okay on this, but they're going to be... I was talking in the comment section with somebody about Neil Young recently. Neil Young would not be great on this set. For example, Neil Young is a great writer, and some of his music, Old Man, he's a brilliant writer, and some of his music's absolutely fantastic, but he's got a nasalist kind of voice along the Bob Dylan-ish type of... it's... How did this dude get famous? With Neil Young, it's because he's just such a fucking talent. But there's some stuff and emphasis around here, and your focus of your ears in a certain location puts your eyes and your ears and everything right on Neil. And he's got a unique voice. He would be fatiguing. And I listened to a couple of his tracks with this set, and it's as I thought it would be. So... as mentioned before, graphs don't tell the whole story, but they'll give you an indication. I'd look at that graph and think, that might get shouty. And it, in fact, does. It's not a bad set. The cable is absolutely fantastic. It's price reasonable. They're not being stupid crazy with this. They're appealing to a certain demographic. If it were not for the quality of the Canas Pro and the KXXS and the Belon 03, which is going to get updated, this might be a set that a year ago I'd be very enthusiastic about. The bar has been raised, and because of that, this is not a set that I will wreck. I'm going to wreck this set once I get a name and a link, and I'm going to wreck that. But this set I won't. And to the person that sent a comment and said, you get lots of stuff from Linsol and you wreck a lot, I said to you to go back and to look at how many unboxes I've done and how many wrecks I've done, like big wrecks, multiple videos about a single item, and please come back to me. That was like 4 days ago, and he never didn't come back. Pay attention, man. I don't wreck more stuff than I do wreck. And when I do wreck something, you know it, because it's like a train. You can hear the wheels spinning on the tracks. You haven't heard any wheels spinning since the Belon, and there's nothing spinning right now. So pay attention. Call out the hype man at the right time, not when he's in the middle of not hyping anything, okay? Get back to me in a few days. Once I figure out the name of these things, I'll hype these. So these got decent bass, can be upped at 55, little bit. Don't seem to be really tuned that way. The shell is made out of a kind of a plastic. The cap is actually a plastic too. It's not metal. It looks like it, so it's a total plastic shell. Is there a correlation between the fact that the TFZ actually plastic version was fine, but the Belon, the KXXS, and the Canas Pro are all in metal shells. Is there a connection? I don't know. This is also a metal shell. It's cold in my hand, and it sounds boss. Really, really nice. Love it a lot. Give you a preview of that again. You might look at that and say, that's kind of, where's my mids? They're all there, man. That's a beastly set. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Like it a lot. Very stoked to get something finally that I'm thrilled about. But it's not this set right here. So that's it. I'm out. You guys have Merry Christmas. My voice is kind of back. The area where I'm doing videos sometimes that's going to be split in between here and there. This is the more comfortable zone. This is like in my wheelhouse right here. And this set is in my wheelhouse as far as what I'm familiar with, and it's just not good enough considering what you guys probably already have in your possession to say, you ought to go get this. I don't think so. This cable is fucking nice, though. But when the cable is the best part of your package, you need to do a little bit better. This is the kind of set that if it had been sent to some people before it was released, and somebody got it and said, you know what, how about you cut that down about 3.5 dB, like, and try that. Like that would have been something that would have been advised. I don't think anybody would have got this and said, yeah, let's go with this. Now, calm that down a little bit, because someone's going to look at that and say, that looks like could be shouty. And then someone's going to review it like me and say, okay, it's a little shouty. And there you go. So, I'm out.
Selling my